Hi, Helena. Thank you. That's nice of you. Queen Blessing, hello. I'm trying to wait for a little bit more. I just got off TikTok live. If y'all don't follow me on TikTok, I go live there quite a bit. I'm trying to get better about going on YouTube live as well, but I have it's just easier to go on TikTok live. I don't know. Oh, of course. Helena, that's not a phase anybody skips. It's a phase nobody skips. I was very I felt very cringy when I first started making content, especially this type of content, because there's such a negative connotation online right now with online coaches and all the things because of, unfortunately, people abusing the space that have no business in the space, which is why I kind of talked about this on TikTok. Like, be very mindful of people you follow in this space. Like, look at their social proof, look at the people that they worked with, look at their comments, look at the type of content they make. I don't know. It was definitely cringy for me in that aspect. And of course, any niche that you go into, it's always going to be cringy because you have people most times that follow you, that know you, all the things. Like, it's always going to be cringy, but you have to think of the end goal. I thought of my end goal and I said, look, I've been working as a freelance social media manager and an influencer manager for like years at this point, and I'm like, I want to bring this knowledge online. I thought it was cringy. I honestly, I wanted to start this sooner. I wanted to start this in like 2019 or 2020. Didn't do it because I just thought it would be too cringy. So yeah, I would say you just need to think about what your goals are. If your goals are brand partnerships, if it's money, if it's starting a business, you want to start bringing your business content online, whatever that thing is, you need to think about that outweighing whatever. Because at the end of the day, 2019, 2020 me thinking about not starting it, I really should slap her in the face because it was stupid. It was so stupid. But yeah. Hey Bree, what's up, Glam Empress? Thank you for this. It's very cringy right now for me. That's okay, Helena. Just literally keep posting. Keep posting. Because at the end of the day, it's brand partnerships for sure. Yeah, at the end of the day, and with brand partnerships as the focus, obviously, you know, you want to make sure you're making content that I call it brand friendly, but more so it's marketable content. And really specializing. Specialization right now is what's really winning for people. I actually am making a series right now on TikTok about kind of why you need to specialize a little bit more as far as brand partnerships. And I talk about niches within the lifestyle niche that will actually make you more money when it comes to brand partnerships. So I don't know if you follow me on TikTok too, but that's going to be a good series for all the people in the lifestyle niche because lifestyle is very, very broad. And you want to get really specific with the messaging. And I don't mean super niche down. You don't have to super niche, but you definitely want to make sure you have a few different audience members that people can easily identify. Because once again, I worked as a contracted influencer marketing specialist for a corporate company before. And when I worked in that position, it showed me, it honestly completely fried my brain around what I thought influencer partnerships look like. So I always was on the creator side. So I just thought, oh, like if I just make good content and like I get a lot of views, I get a lot of likes, like that's the only thing that matters. That is not what matters. Brands, every single time from what I see, they always pick the people who are, it's like no in between. Either they have over like 1 million followers, they're super popular, like your Monet McMichaels, your big names, or they're picking the people with those super specialized audiences that may have a little bit less of a following, but it's specialized and they know that their audience members are actual community members. Like it's no in between. So I didn't realize that at first, like I said, coming from the creator side until I worked on that side. But that's why I'm like, I tell my people on TikTok, I tell you guys, you really have to figure out where your lane is and make sure that you're noticeable in said lane. Because if not, it's just going to be hard for you. And it's going to be hard for you when it comes down to negotiating time as well. But who's that? Hi, Ty. I think it's Ty, right? And hi, Faison. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but sorry. I got on here though because I wanted to talk about, I have a video coming out tomorrow on YouTube. It's gonna be about, a lot of people ask me, how do I know if I need to start a new YouTube channel? And my biggest thing about that question is, there are so many factors. There's never a time where I can give you a yes or no answer without actually doing a deep dive. But I do have a video coming out tomorrow about like what you can do to rebrand the channel. Now, here's the thing. Typically when you rebrand a channel, it is going to be very, very hard to do so. Because you've got two things that are fighting against you. The first thing that's going to be fighting against you when you're rebranding a channel is that you have audience members that may not be interested in your new niche. A lot of people will find, okay, let's say we started in the beauty niche, but now we want to start making finance content. A lot of people aren't going to be open to the switch. They're not going to want to watch that content because they subscribe to you specifically for beauty, right? Some of them might because they like your personality, but good rule of thumb is to know you're not going to get all of your subscribers to make that switch for you. So what is that going to do? That's inherently going to bring your engagement rate down. Once engagement goes down, YouTube is going to stop pushing the video how it was being pushed previous to this happening, because engagement is what's going to drive that ranking system. So that's why we always talk about click-through rate, thumbnails, titles. All of those things are helping you in the ranking system, right? So once people are saying, okay, they see your thumbnail and it's talking about finance, they don't click on it, that is an indication to YouTube, okay, her audience members are not liking this video. Her audience members are not liking this. So what are we going to do next? They're not going to push the content. So that's the first thing you have fighting you. The second thing you're going to have fighting you is the fact that once you switch the type of content, YouTube, the algorithm is now confused because you've been feeding YouTube this beauty content, this luxury beauty space. You've been in this space for a very long time, and they have kind of crafted this specific audience member group for you. Now they're confused because now they're like, okay, wait, we're not pushing it to them anymore. And if you notice, and a good rule of thumb I tell people, like, think of how specific, and I'm talking about TikTok too. Think about how specific your FYP is, and think about how specific your YouTube Explore page is. Like typically when I hop on my YouTube Explore page, within the first 5 videos, YouTube's got me to a T. And I've clicked on something, and it does a pretty good job of telling me what I want to see. They're able to do this through how we as creators are presenting the content and what are we putting out. So once you start messing with, okay, I'm going to change my niche, I want to do a rebrand, it's going to hurt the channel initially. And a lot of people do not recover from it. So even though I'm coming out with this video tomorrow, kind of giving you some tips on how you can go about it, it's definitely something I don't recommend to all. And that's going to be one of those things where you have to weigh the pros and the cons, because it's not going to work for all. And I don't ever want to get on here and tell y'all, oh, this is something that's going to work for everybody. No, it's not. Because you're going to have to put in twice as much work to revamp a channel versus you starting one from scratch. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing for people who watch that video tomorrow, who always ask me, I don't know if I should start a new channel. I don't know if I should start a new channel. It's going to be one of those that may be a reality check. Like, okay, maybe I am the person that needs to start a new channel, but it is going to be hard to do the switch. And a lot of people get discouraged by engagement and metrics, which is why a lot of people stop posting content in the first place. And if you're somebody that gets discouraged by engagement and metrics, you can expect maybe 6 months to a year, you might not see a switch at all. You might see 20 views a video. You could have been getting thousands of views before you stopped posting or before you made the switch. You may start seeing less than 100 views for a very long time, or whatever the number is. But a lot of people are not going to be strong enough to deal with that, because in their head, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I used to get like 5,000 views a video. Now I'm getting 500 because I switched my niche. And a lot of people are not going to be willing to do that for a year. I always use tags, Erica. The thing about tags, once again, that's not a growth tag. Like that, you're not using that for growth. It's not helping your growth at all. But what it's doing is, once again, helping the algorithm with categorization. So anytime you have the opportunity to use tags, use a good title with SEO, use your description box and put in key phrases that are being searched. All of that is helping the algorithm. I kind of tell people, because people ask me, should I use tags? Should I put my the key phrases in the description box? It's like with those three places, titles, description box, and tags, it's like if somebody said, hey, do you want one free throw or do you want 3 free throws? I'm going to take my chances with 3 free throws. So what you're doing is you're giving YouTube the opportunity to better categorize the content. And if there's 3 places where they can pull information from to see where they can send my video to or who they can send it to, I'm going to take that advantage of that. So when people say, oh, I don't use hashtags, which I've had some people say that before, cool. That just means you're just taking your one jump shot, but I'm going to take my 3 if it's available to me. So that's kind of how I view it. But yes, I hope that was helpful, Erica. So yeah, always use, if you have an opportunity to use SEO key terms in any way, shape, form, or fashion on YouTube, on TikTok, use it. I do the same thing on TikTok, and I tell people this too, because they're like, the biggest thing is, I kind of talk about social proof a lot. Like, a lot of people are like, okay, but I feel like I don't know if I can apply what you say. Like, how, if you want to know, okay, is what you're saying true? I use SEO in every single one of my videos, YouTube and TikTok, right? So I did a branding strategy 101 series on TikTok. And my goal was, I was like, okay, I want to be that go-to person and that person that people know for branding strategy. So I said, with this series, I want to solidify myself in rank. Like, when people search for me on TikTok, I want my video to be one of the top 10 videos. So I made sure that I use correct messaging when I use text on screen, with the text box, the caption, and the hashtags. If you go to TikTok right now and you type in branding strategy, you will see my face with all the millions of creators that are on there because of my messaging and how I use SEO. So I think it's always important to utilize key terms wherever you can, because that will help you so much in rank. I find that using the exact keywords that I see in YouTube Studio, and it helps. Oh yeah, for sure. And there's so many tools out there now that you can use to help you with keywords. Like, whenever you're making a video and you feel like, okay, maybe this video, I don't know what key terms to use, because like maybe it's a vlog, maybe it's something that isn't as clearly defined. Even with those type of niches or content styles, there are things that people could potentially be searching for. For example, I also do video editing, correct? So I had a client, this past week, she went to a Valentine's Day pop-up shop, right? And even though it's not Valentine's Day and she's posting it before Valentine's Day, what will people be searching for? I put in Valentine's Day inspo, Valentine's Day inspiration, dates for Valentine's Day, all the things that would be surrounding a pop-up on Valentine's Day. What would people be searching for if they wanted to see a cool pop-up or whatever the case may be? Thinking about all of that, now how can I apply that? Use some tags, use some key terms that will get people who are searching for that and find her video. So I think that's just, once again, another good rule of thumb, even for content that isn't so black and white, kind of like mine. Because really, her content is vlog style, but it's still her getting ready, going to a Valentine's Day pop-up, and she has a Valentine's Day photo shoot, which is why I thought, okay, how can we position this as inspiration? So we know people are searching for Valentine's Day inspo anyway, so how can we utilize it? But yeah, so make sure you guys watch the one that comes out tomorrow about rebranding the YouTube. I get that question a lot. I'm also in the next week or so going to be coming out with some type of downloadable PDF for YouTube, like kind of just like the basics. I feel like a lot of people don't really know what things mean, how to read their analytics. Like, there's so many questions I get asked that I feel like, to me, of course, it feels like, oh, like, I feel like everyone knows that. And then when I talk to people, I'm like, oh, everyone doesn't know that. So I think I'm gonna try to come up with something, keep it cheap, like less than 20 bucks. So that you can have like some type of thing to look at and know, okay, this is how I do X for this. This is how I do X for this. This is how I do X for this. Is there any amount to use? I don't use tags and shorts, and they seem to perform better. So when I say the tags, I don't think you need to use tags and shorts. I don't really use tags and shorts like that. I do sometimes. I'm more so talking about long form. Long form, it's very hard to get long form content seen. So once again, I'm utilizing it in short. The way that they push shorts out and the way they push long form out is completely different. And we can see that based on how the content performs. So more so for content. I mean, not for content, excuse me, for long form content. But yes. Wait, yes, I'm not sure how to read my analytics. That's the thing, Glam Empress. I'm thinking about making an analytics guide, like an analytics guide 101, like, cause that's another video. Here's the thing. Everyone wants me to make a video about that, but there's so much like data that I would have to look at and put on the screen and then have my laptop open, and like just the filming style is going to be really annoying for me. So I'm like, I would rather type this up in explanation format rather than try to record it, use overlay to show you what I'm doing exactly on my computer as you guys can. Like, it's just too much. I hate those style videos because they're such a pain to edit. So, and I'm being lazy because I don't want to edit that, and even though I know how, but I'm just like, I don't want to do that. So I think maybe some type of analytic guide would be easier, and it's easier too because when you're actually using, you know, your YouTube studio, you don't have to go click over to my video. You literally just have like a printed out analytics metric sheet in front of you or something. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that would just overall be easier. Zinat. Yes, so all of the services that I offer are for all three platforms. So even though I'm not on Instagram, I have a lot of, because the first service that I even got into years ago was social media management, where I work for companies, I work for CEOs, and I did their social media. Currently, I am doing the CEO of Coastal Construction and as CEO of Glam Empress. I'm not Glam Empress. I'm thinking of Glam Empress. Glam Seams. I think it's Seamless. Excuse me. I don't know why I said Empress. So I manage their Instagrams. So any platform, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, the services are extended to. Now, don't call me about Snapchat. Don't call me about Pinterest. Don't call me about Lemonade. I don't know about that. I only know about, you know, the big three because that's where I've typically done work. So in corporate and in freelance. So I think that's where I'm knowledgeable, and I'm not going to try to sell y'all a dream on any other platform. But yes. Oh, thank you, Glam Empress, and got you, girl. So yeah, hopefully guys, tomorrow's video will be super helpful for you guys when it comes to rebranding a channel. And yes, I am coming out with a thumbnail video soon. Everyone keeps asking me about that in my comment section. It's just, that's another video that's going to be annoying to edit because I would have to do some overlay, some show and tell, and it can't just really be a talking head video. But it is coming. I just have to get around to filming it. So yeah, but I already have like a script ready to go, and like how I kind of want to talk about key points within the thumbnail, because that's super important. If anything, if you had to put a level of importance on thumbnails, I'd say like 10 out of 10. It makes or breaks a video. I literally put out a video on Tuesday, and I'm not gonna lie, I was lazy with the thumbnail. I was so lazy with it just because I had a really busy day. I had a lot of calls that day, and that video is my worst performing video yet, and I spent the least amount of time on that thumbnail. That's not a coincidence. The content is good. The people that actually watched the content, they was like, oh my gosh, this video, thank you for this. This was so helpful. But the click-through rate was very low because I skimped on the thumbnail. So it's like, I know I won't do that again. But at the time, I was just like, I just need the video up. So if I had to say level of importance, it's definitely, as far as the viewer, it's definitely going to be thumbnail. As far as the algorithm, title is going to be the most important thing. But when you're talking about viewer and click-through rate, it's going to be the thumbnail. Glam Empress, yeah, TubeBuddy is great for beginners. I tell everybody to get on that. If you're not someone that's comfortable with SEO, you don't really know what's trending in your niche, you don't really know what key terms people are looking for within your niche just off the bat, that is a good resource for you just to get some ideas of what some key terms might be. I do think if I had to rate TubeBuddy on a scale from 0 to 10, I'd say it's between a 6 and 7. I think it's okay, and it's way better, especially for people who don't know anything about SEO. But I have found, even as I've used it in the past, like once I start to understand more about SEO, and I know how to do it almost for myself, it's like you almost outgrow it. So if you're somebody new to it, I think it's great, but you will outgrow it eventually, because sometimes when I look at the ranking on because you know they give you a ranking system. Like let's say your niche is dog walking, they may have like the key term how to dog walk, and they'll rank it like 80 out of 100. Sometimes I don't agree with those ratings, but once again, I think it's a good resource for beginners. Yes, Zenat, exactly. It's not perfect, but it's helpful. That's why I said 6 or 7 out of 10. It's definitely better than nothing. That's what I was saying. But yeah, I will be back on. I'm trying to get on YouTube a little bit more on YouTube Live. I just hopped off TikTok Live. I'm trying to go on at least twice a week. So when you see the notification, I'll typically go midday. Like, I'm not really a night person. It's typically probably going to be between like 11 and 1, 11 and 2. So if you are at home, just, you know, be on the lookout, and I'll kind of give you guys some updates, some gems, and I will let you guys know when that YouTube resource is ready. Yeah, I definitely need to make something like that, because a lot of people want the analytics video, but that's just something that I feel like would just be so much better as like some type of guide, like a 101 guide or something. But anyways, you guys have a good day. Bye.